questions short so we can get as many questions as we can through the afternoon. We're going to, if you direct a question at one of the legislators, once that person answers, then we'll open it up to the rest of them if they have something to add to it. And so we have our first question, and whenever you have a set of rules, the first thing you do is you break them. This question is going to be read and addressed to whoever wants to answer.
I brought this question up to Taylor last night, and I wanted to bring it up again. I don't know what you guys know about the refugee resettlement camp, but I got a letter here from Matt Mead from his office, and I got to get my eyeballs on it.
September 5th, 2013.
Does this help?
September 5th, 2013, Mr. Eskinder Negash, Director, Office of Refugee Settlement, 901 D Street, Southwest Washington, D.C., 2044. Director Negash, the state of Wyoming has elected to pursue a public-private partnership model of a refugee resettlement program and to participate in that program through the Office of Refugee Resettlement. This formalizes the work of many interested persons and organizations across many years. Wyoming will designate a refugee resettlement program coordinator in the near future. Until that person is designated, please contact my policy advisor, Ms. Merritt Thomas, to work through any logistics or questions. She can be reached at merritt.thomas@wyoming.gov or 307-777-8206. Sincerely, Matt Mead, Governor. You guys aware of this, and what's your thoughts?
I started getting a lot of emails, probably from you guys, that asked about the refugee resettlement program before I went to the legislature. This was in January. So when I first got there, I went into Governor Mead's office. By the way, Governor, he doesn't seem to like talking to me a lot, but I went to Tony Young, and I said, tell me what in the world's going on with the refugee resettlement program. And he said, he played absolutely dumb. I just would like to hear some thoughts about it. And I said, I will forward you every email that I get. So I started giving him emails that folks were sending. And then I went back halfway through the session and said, Tony, this sounds pretty serious. Where are we? Oh, all we're doing is looking at this program. We're looking at it. This was in the middle of February. And then after the session's all over, we go somewhere and we get this letter that when was it, October? He'd already committed us to it. So I just felt a little bit betrayed by the whole thing. And there's a lot more information on it, how much it's going to cost us, what we have to provide. It's just not a real healthy thing for the state of Wyoming. And the worst thing, it's kind of like Senate File 104. It's crammed down our throat, and nobody got anything to say about it. And I think it's coming, it's on its way. I just feel bad about it. Again, we need to correct our state government.
Would anybody else like to comment on it? We have questions?
I'll just make a real quick comment. Apparently there are 4 refugees in the state of Wyoming, and anybody who thinks we need to create a whole new government department to deal with 4 people, that's just a demonstration of the problem of what's wrong with our government right now.
Kendall, there's more than that in Cheyenne alone.
Yeah.
I'd just like to add one more thing too. There's nothing I could really add to what's been said already, except for one thing. I've noticed that much of the awareness of this has come from citizens like you. And I was contacted by a man sitting on the front row who helped me to understand some of what was going on. A lot of this flew completely under the cover of night. And so I want to say personally and in front of everybody, thank you very much, Frank George.
Thank you.
We often hear that this is church-sponsored.
The organization has the name Lutheran in it, but it is in no way affiliated with the Lutheran Church. I was asked by a newspaper in Jackson to provide some comments on this, and I sat down, and when I finished typing, I realized I had only questions. None of the questions I knew the answer to, so I wrote back to a reporter and said, I have no answers, I have no comment because I'm so ignorant about what is being advocated here. So I sent her a list of about 60 questions. And one of my questions was, you know, we're a compassionate, godly people. We aren't going to kick out refugees, but bring us the Christians from North Africa and the Middle East. Don't bring us the kids that have fought wars all their lives, that know nothing else, that don't worship the way we do, that don't educate the way we do, that don't have families like we do. Bring us something that we have someone in common with. Those Christians whose churches are being burned, whose whole families of wives are being murdered because they won't convert to Islam. Those are the people that Wyoming, and Wyoming's got to be on board. If these refugees are going to be welcomed here, the governor needs to know that Wyomingites need to be completely on board with this. If these people are going to come into our communities, give us some refugees that we have something in common with.